Yo, what's going on, guys? Robovar here, and welcome to my first edited video that I am uploading here with Pokemon Sword and Shield Double Battles. Just wanted to go ahead and kind of give myself a little test run on recording battles and the quality of the videos and the audio content, etc., etc. So I'm going to go ahead and lead off here with my Skarmory and Claydol. My Claydol is light screen, my Skarmory is leftovers. Skarmory is my setup mon with my rocks, Stealth Rock, Spikes, Roost, Whirlwind, those kinds of shenanigans. Claydol is my Rapid Spinner, my screens, and he's also has Earth Power. So I swapped out my Skarmory just thinking that Rotom was going to be your typical Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Hydro Pump type of Rotom. But he's carrying the Will-O-Wisp, so that was pretty interesting. Swapped out to my Jolteon to try and just get that Volt Absorb, but again, we saw that it was that Will-O-Wisp, so that was pretty weird. Went ahead and used Discharge to try and get some pretty clean damage off. I know that my Claydol is obviously immune to Electric Attack, so I can go for a pretty powerful Discharge, but with that Mystical Fire Special Attack drop, that really wasn't going to do too much. Now, oddly enough, this Clefable has a red card. Swapped out my Skarmory and said, "Come back, bitch. We are not done yet." Having my light screen up though, I'm fairly confident that my Skarmory will be able to take a Mystical Fire and bring up my Spikes and my Rocks. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave Claydol as fodder. Can't really do much on this team. My opponent's carrying some pretty scary mons with the Rotom and the thick Clefable here and the Metagross and the Garchomp as well in the back. So I wanted to just go ahead and try and get that light screens to avoid any damage from these special attacking mons here, considering how hard-hitting they are and how hefty they are. So bringing in my Skarmory now, was able to successfully get that Stealth Rocks up, and going to bring in my Jolteon now. Without that special attack drop, I'm pretty sure Jolteon can do some pretty heavy damage on their end. I brought in my Manectric to get that lightning round boost. My opponent here, I don't think, was expecting that switch. So Clefable's down in the red now, Rotom's in range. My Manectric doesn't really care about being burned. He does not care about losing attack. He's Choice Scarfed, and my Jolteon is Life Orb. So the idea here is to discharge, get damage, get some boosts, get some heals, kind of get a sweep going with Manectric. Of course, it's very limited with the Garchomp at the back end, which you'll see come in now, and stop that discharge from coming through. This Clefable's good as dead at this point, so I went ahead and discharged just to play it safe and see what would happen. Now with Garchomp coming in, I do not want to get EQ'd. Like I said, the goal is to have Manectric try and sweep and do some cool stuff here, and I definitely want to keep my Manectric being Choice Scarf. Cannot speed some people, get some heavy damage off. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out my Manectric, anticipating an Earthquake into my Skarmory, but not before my opponent brings back in this washing machine here. Now, of course, the Earthquake is clear as day with Rotom being Levitate. So I'm just definitely going to bring in that Skarmory, and then I'm going to swap out to Ninetales. So those are my other two mons, Ninetales and Bellossom. Bellossom having the Chlorophyll and holding the Focus Sash, and Ninetales having the Drought with the Heat Rock. So unfortunately, considering my opponent's team, I went ahead and just brought in my Ninetales as fodder to get the sun up. That way my Bellossom can come in and outspeed pretty much everyone on his team, put some people to sleep. She carries Strength Sap, Sleep Powder, Energy Ball, and Quiver Dance. So the goal in mind now at this point is to try and get these Pseudo Legends down, so that way I can start setting up my Spikes and get some Whirlwinds off. So you're going to see now the all-powerful Bellossom. You all thought she was NU? Well, guess what? She's going to prove you wrong and do some shenanigans here to these OU guys. So my opponent here goes in Dynamax. Is pretty scary with the Garchomp, but I know my Bellossom's pretty thick. I have my Bellossom, I believe, with full HP and full defense, if I'm not mistaken, with the Focus Sash, so I know she will definitely live. If I get the Strength Sap off, I should be able to cripple this Garchomp, and putting that Metagross to sleep pretty much incapacitates him. So they're going to go ahead and do that Max Whirlwind here, which is going to lower my attack stat, but that's quite alright. My team does not care about attack. And Skarmory, as you know, does not have any attacking moves. His goal is simply just to be as annoying as possible, not letting people set up at all. So now that I got my spikes up, got some recovery off, got that Metagross to sleep, it's time to Strength Sap. Time to get that recovery off on that Bellossom, keep her nice and healthy, and reduce the damage from that Garchomp since he is Dynamaxed. Now, I see my opponent can clearly tell that Bellossom is a threat, so he's trying to just get as much setup as possible now at this point with the max fighting attack. I'm drawing a blank here, Max Knuckle. So I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Whirlwind. We don't want that Metagross anywhere near us at +1. That is a terrifying mon. And unfortunately for my Bellossom, this dude's Drapion comes in. Now, of course, my Bellossom is meant to be as annoying as possible. She's going to go ahead and just put people to sleep, do what she needs to. And this Skarmory is going to continue doing what he needs to do, swapping out, swapping out, swapping out. You're going to see a bit of back and forth here with this team, a little bit of stall. So we're going to go ahead and just watch and see what this Bellossom can do. As you just saw, Bellossom can be quite the nuisance when, with a little bit of luck from the sleep powder, and of course, having that chlorophyll advantage in speed, but pretty bulky mon with the right set and the right EV spread. Anyway, now that we have my two opponents sleeping here, I figured it's the best move to bring in my Jolteon and Espeon on a free switch-in. Start setting up some of the lightning rod boosts and get some health recovery with the Volt Absorb. So at this point, the Nightwalker to try and ensure that I can get the kill, I need to do some shenanigans here and get some chip damage off as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out my Manectric. I'm going to need him with that Choice Scarf and the Overheat to try and set up that Sun again for my Bellossom. So I'm going to go ahead and swap him back out, come through with the Skarmory. I know the Earthquake may potentially be coming, however, with Metagross being out, I don't know if that's even something my opponent will do. So I go for the Shadow Ball on Metagross to try and get as much damage off if that isn't the case. And that isn't. He goes ahead and does Dual Chop. Now my opponent at this point does know that my Skarmory doesn't have any attacking moves, considering I've shown off all 4 of my moves, so he's not very threatened by this Skarmory at all. In fact, he uses that to his advantage throughout the match by focusing his attacks on my other mons. So I'm thinking here, okay, the next moves are critical in me winning the game. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out my Skarmory here to my Bellossom, bring her in, considering I know my opponent does not feel threatened by it, which he's not going to attack it, which is smart on his end. But I'm going to switch in my Bellossom to ensure her safety, bring in my Manectric to get that Sun back up. So I am carrying Overheat, so of course that turns into Max Flare here. And surprisingly enough, I outspeed the Garchomp. Of course, as you all know, when you have a Choice Scarf item, it does not apply the boost when you Dynamax. So that was honestly very surprising to see the Manectric outspeed a Garchomp here. Either way, the Manectric is going to go down here due to the jumping gank over here jumping my Manectric, but now the sun is up and Bellossom is ready to sleep and use my strength sap to essentially just continue healing and lowering their attack stat. But unfortunately, that is the final bit of this match, with just 2 mons on each side of the field left. And that will be the battle, my guys. So pretty much just a stall here at the end. No one really goes down. So tell me what you guys think on who you think would have won the battle. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe and follow for more videos, and expect to see some Scarlet and Violet videos soon.